Y'all, welcome to Sweet Tea and Butterflies. Today we are making a fall leaf wall hanger or door hanger, and it is part of the What Would You Make collaboration. We've got the crafty doll is the guest host, and your hosts are Brenda from Rustic and Lace and Christine from Divine Designs. So I'm starting out with this wood round from Dollar Tree that has like leaves and stuff on it. And I used the antique wax. And then I used lavender sachet on some of the leaves that are on there. And then I used agave on the other ones. And I didn't feel like you needed to watch me paint all those. So I got these really pretty leaves from Dollar Tree. And yeah, I'm kind of going in a not so traditional fall colors. If you've been here long enough, you know I love the color purple. And something about purple and teal just speaks to me. So that's where we're at. I took in, snipped a couple of the stems off to make basically a swag with. My original thought on this, I had actually gotten some window clings that I was going to fill that empty space with. But the colors didn't match the leaves that I'm using. And when I bought these leaves, I didn't buy them specifically for this. I was going to do more traditional colors, but I thought I had regular fall leaf things in my stash, but couldn't find them. So I had to shift gears. So this is where we're at. And I just take and arrange those with one little stem of each color on each end of it. And then I take a zip tie to secure them together. Which, yeah, sometimes those zip ties can be a little bit challenging. So I trim off the excess that's hanging out there. And try, kind of looking at the placement there. And now I'm going to create a bow. I got all the ribbon that I used here, I got when Joann's was shutting down. So, I mean, I paid, I think, 40 cents for each roll of ribbon. I wish I had found more ribbon in the color, more colors and whatnot, but I ended up going into the Joann's in my town, or well, the closest. Anyway, I ended up going in there like 3 days before their last day, so it was very, very slim pickings. But I take and, make the loops, and then I made one loop around the bottom part, as you'll see in a minute. I'm going to use a zip tie to scrunch that all together and hold it. And that big loop at the bottom I'll cut in half to make the tails. Now, in hindsight, when it came to making the other bow that I was going to put on top of this, I should have not made tails on it. I should have just made the tails and attached to the back of this one versus, or tuck it in there versus the way that I did it. But I found a way to make it work. And this one, this is it's a sheer ribbon. It's not wired. So it's a little more difficult to floof, with the wired ribbon. You can kind of floof it up and whatnot and shift it around and it'll hold where you put it. Neither of these ribbons, have the wire in them, so it was a little more difficult. So now this one's going to be the one that goes on top of that. So you'll notice that I have a loop in the middle and then loops on each side. And when you're doing, if you've got a ribbon that has the pattern only on one side, when you get to the back, you twist it to where the pattern is facing up. So I did the same thing with this one. Used the zip tie to cinch it together and hold it. And then do I had done I did the loop at the bottom to use for the tails. Hindsight, I would have just made tails to attach to the back of the other one, because I had to kind of finagle this a little bit so that it didn't look goofy when I put the two bows together. But yeah, when and then I dovetail each of them. But yeah, when I was looking for ribbon and whatnot shopping at Joann's, I was actually surprised to find some in colors that I actually like and will use. I think I walked out of there that day. If everything had been regular price, it would have been about $120. And I spent less than $20 on everything. So it was marked down severely, even from what was on prices that were on, each item. It was marked down even more than that. So most of the ribbon that I was looking at was in the $3 range. As far as the price that was marked on it. And then I get up to the check stand and it ranged from 20 cents to 60 cents, but most of it was 40 cents. So now I'm going to take and zip tie these two together. Now, hindsight again, rather than using so many zip ties, because it kind of creates a lot of bulk in there, hindsight again being what it is, I would have used a clamp to clamp that first one. Got my other one done, and then just used one zip tie to secure both of them together. So if you do recreate or make a bow, stacked bow like this, another tip of making it a little bit easier than what I did here. Then I just take and put it on there. I almost used another zip tie to put it on there, but I had such a bulk of zip ties in this that I was just like, we're going to do something different. But you most certainly can use a zip tie to secure it to the leaf stems too. But you see what I mean here? I've got like the tails that I have to kind of finagle around with. It ended up turning out okay in the end. I had to get creative. Well, so now I need to cover up all those zip ties. I realized that small piece wasn't quite enough to do that, so I had to cut another piece of the ribbon there to wrap, and I folded it in half and wrapped it through and around the middle of the bow there and just hot glued it. Still fooling around with the tails. I think part of that was I didn't think to turn on my hot glue gun until just before I started that, so I was like, oh, is my hot glue gun going to be ready? I've had to be careful with my hot glue gun and leaving it on, sitting on the table next to my chair as I'm working, because I have Smokey who decides that she wants to use my table as a launching pad and knocks everything off. So I could get quite messy with the hot glue gun if it ends up on the floor, and because you don't want that hot tip touching anything that could melt or burn. Anyway, so I wrapped that around there, glued it in place, trimmed the little excess that was hanging off, and then I hot glued it to the stems here. And used another scrap piece on the back of it just to kind of help secure it in there so that it would hold a little bit better. And that's not going to be seen from the front side anyway, so and then I took and hot glued it onto my wood round. Now, I did use antique wax on this, so oftentimes hot glue doesn't always, it's not friendly with the antique wax sometimes. It's holding up fine, but you could, if you wanted to, throw a staple or two in there if you have small enough staples, because this is a really thin wood round. So the staples that I have in my staple gun are too long for it. I didn't think about trying to use a regular stapler to kind of secure it. I might do that. Those staples are shorter. I just gave myself a wonderful idea, huh? So now I'm taking in some of the leaves, want to flip this way and that way. So I'm just tacking them down to, just tacking them down so that they kind of stay the way I want them. I got that one there that just keeps wanting to, that purple one just wants to keep flipping over where the backside's showing. So I just flipped it over, gave it just a little tack of glue there. Floof it up here. See? I realized, oops, I forgot to take the tag off. But I think it's cute. Not your typical fall colors, but turned out kind of cute to me. So I will share my buy me a coffee link in my description box. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment, share. All of you that are subscribed, thank you so much for your support. I will also leave the link to the playlist and each of the hosts' channels in the description box. And I keep hearing other creators talk about this hype button, but I haven't seen it when I've been watching videos. So if you see it on mine, feel free to hype it. It would help my channel grow. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching.